Hey, church family, welcome to Holy Humor Sunday. Yes, this is a real thing, and yes, it is a thing. And no, we haven't gone off our theological rails. We're just taking God's laughter seriously, or maybe seriously, not so seriously. Let's rewind for a moment. Over 2,000 years ago, picture this: Peter, fresh off the trauma from the cross, still smelling like charcoal from that beach breakfast with Jesus, gets up in front of a crowd and says, "Hey, everybody, I've got a message for you. You know Jesus, the one y'all crucified? Yeah, it turns out he's God." Now imagine how that went over. Peter and the disciples weren't just delivering good news, they were delivering unbelievable news. It was like showing up to a funeral with balloons and cake and yelling, "Surprise! No one's dead." People probably looked at Peter like he was the first century episode of Jerusalem's Got Delusions. But Peter knew something important. He knew that even if no one wanted to hear it, even if they rolled their eyes, clicked leave meeting, or wrote snarky comments on his sermon live stream, he still had to tell the truth because this was no ordinary truth. This was the best joke in all of the world. That Rome thought it had the last word, that death thought it was undefeatable, that a carpenter turned preacher with no army, no money, and no marketing strategy won. The joke's on death, y'all. Comedy is a drama in which the central motif is the triumph over adversity. Sound familiar? Easter is divine comedy. Jesus is a plot twist. And the disciples, they are reluctant stand up comics in the early church's open mic night. So let's be honest, Peter was no professional. He didn't have a tight 5 minute set and a Netflix special. He was just a fisherman with foot and mouth disease. But here's the kicker: God didn't call him to be polished. God called him to be a witness, not a theologian, not a philosopher, not an influencer with matching fonts on his scroll post, just someone who saw something and had a story to tell, no matter how absurd it sounded. And what a story it was. Hey, everybody, Jesus beat death. Sure, Peter. No, like I saw him, ate fish with him. He told Thomas to touch the wounds. That sounds unsanitary, but it's true. Peter probably didn't feel ready. He probably didn't want to do it. And the half crowd probably thought he was off his Galilean rocker. But still, he spoke because the joke was too good to keep to himself. And let's pause here to bring this home. Do you ever feel like no one wants to hear what you've seen God do? You ever feel like you're trying to tell people about hope and resurrection, and all they hear is blah, blah, Jesus, fish, blah, blah? Well, congratulations. You're in excellent company. The disciples didn't go viral, they got arrested. They didn't get claps, they got rocks thrown. But they also got to see people come alive, and that is no joke. So here's the holy humor of it all: God used scared, bumbling humans to deliver the greatest punchline in history. God used people with no plan to preach a love no empire could kill. God used Peter, who couldn't even stay dry walking on water for 2 seconds, to build a church. Because apparently God likes a good comedy, and we are it. You and me, we're part of that joke, the holy kind, that kind that says even death can't hold us down, the kind that says, tell the story even if no one laughs, because the tomb is empty and it is hilarious. So keep witnessing, keep laughing, and for heaven's sake, unmute yourself because this joke is meant to be shared. So, this is my closing blessing to you, or as I like to call it, the final punchline. May your life be a comedy of grace, where the central motif is always love triumphing over despair. May you laugh in the face of fear and testify to the truth, even when it feels foolish. Because, friends, God wins, love wins, and death, well, death's been laughed off the stage. Happy Holy Humor Sunday. And don't forget, the joke is on the empire. God wins. Amen.